What's up, everybody? It's Scott here from Woke Societies. On a, I don't know, melancholy blah kind of day here in New York. Very rainy, very ugh. How's everybody doing? Does everybody come around? Hang out here with me tonight. Woke Society's in the house. We are here to drop the Red Pill news as always, and we're going to get into a bunch of topics today. It's going to be a shorter episode today, but that's okay. I was struggling with the theme today, and then it hit me all at once, as it usually does. The universe, God, they never disappoint. They always provide. If everybody can right now, we're almost at 100 viewers. Get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Get those likes up. Hit that like button. And we're just gonna wait a couple minutes for everyone to come in around. And everyone just chill out and relax. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm glad we could all hang out, get into the topics, get into the shit that the world is in right now. Because there's a lot of fake news going on right now. And we're gonna get into that. Everyone's wondering about the hack on the UN, on the WHO. I don't know. It seemed like a trap to me. But we'll get into all that. We'll get into everything. So, hi, from North Carolina. I'm in the best state. Well, it's better than New York, so. Cindy Hardy, just north of you. Nashville, Tennessee. Where is everybody coming from tonight? All over the world. California. Where are we coming from? What's up from Texas? Flame Broiled 76. That's an awesome name. Flame Broiled 76. We got Sacramento, California. Jed C, you're from Scotland, right? Fantastic, man. That is fantastic. Maine, Pennsylvania. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Aloha from Hawaii. Man, Hawaii is one place where I am dying to go to. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting into the WHO, the UN, Bill Gates, a bunch of things. I just want to drop knowledge on you tonight. Is there really anything such as really any conspiracy theories left out there right now? I just don't know. I don't know if there is. But either way, I'm going to drop some knowledge on everybody tonight. Red pill maybe some people tonight. And just clear the air. Because the energy right now is thick. It's thick. It's just not good. I haven't had a good feeling all week. But either way, it's fine. So let's get into the shameless plugs here as everyone starts to gather around. And we'll get the show on the road. So if everybody could go check out my Woke Society's YouTube page here. We're at 26.8, ladies and gentlemen, subscribers. I would like to hit 30,000 by the end of the month. It's gonna be tough with only, 10, 11 days left? It's possible. I gotta step up my game and put out a home run episode or something here. But either way, it's fine. We're almost at 27,000 subscribers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting me there. It is all because of you guys that I am here right now. All because of you. So check out the Woke Society YouTube channel as always. And what I want you guys to check out right now is my brand new Patreon level tiers. I completely revamped this. I spent all day yesterday trying to come up with ideas. This is really for my diehard fans. I had the tiers set up here. You guys can all check it out. And level 4 is here as well. So pretty much I just have a $5 follow back on Twitter. $15 will get you the follow back, plus a live Q&A session once a month with yours truly. And if you go the next level, it's $20 a month. You get all that plus a free We Go All mug, which is right here, made by my brother right here in New York. And if you guys want to go all out, I have the $25 package with all the stuff in here that I'm going to be doing exclusive content that I cannot put on YouTube. And there's a lot of topics that I don't talk about because I don't want to get the channel taken down. That's just the truth. I've already had people sign up for this, so it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So that is there for you guys as well to check out. If you guys hate YouTube so much, go to my backup channel at BitChute. where you can find all my episodes there. And of course, my wokesocieties.com webpage, where you can find every single episode that I do in the audio form. And guess what? You can go to my podcasting links right here. All the podcasting platforms are there. The major podcasting platforms are there. So you guys can download my content on the go. And of course, my store, where you guys get all the woke and Q merch, all that beautiful stuff right there. And of course, as I always love to show off, my Woke Societies mug right here. Beautiful, isn't it? My brother makes all this stuff. He's really good. He's really good. So we got all that. And if you guys want to donate as a one-time gift to the show, because I am not monetized on YouTube anymore, you can send any donations, one-time gifts right to the paypal.me right below there. And there we have it. All right. Thank you guys for allowing me to get that out there. I have to promote myself at some point, so I appreciate the time that you allowed me to do that. All right, we're just going to take another minute or two, let everybody gather around here, and we'll see what we'll get into the show. You know what? I'm not feeling that. I was definitely feeling this before, so we're going to go back to that. All right. So yeah, we got a bunch of people. Western New York, Georgia, Northeast Tennessee. Yeah, now Rochester, 15 minutes. Yeah, this is all New York. We got a bunch of New Yorkers in here today. That is beautiful. I feel like I'm the only one out here in New York doing this shit. It's all good though. It's all good. Upstate New York has some of the rudest people I've ever met, to be honest. Ithaca and Utica. Yeah, I flipped a house out in Elmira. That's like western upstate New York, deep. I did it like 4 or 5 years ago. It was like a whole new world up in upstate New York. Very odd. Shiprock, New Mexico. Finger Lake, South Carolina. So, all right, we got everyone rolling in. It's a beautiful thing. I'll just get one more minute here, and we'll figure out the rest. So yeah, guys, I woke up this morning and just... Hold on, Middletown back in. What's up, Rob? Robert Medina, Orange County. That's my, yeah, that's for exactly where I'm from too. Good to see you here, Rob. Yeah, I woke up this morning and just saw all this news on the phone. Just like, what is this real? I don't know. We'll get into all of it. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me in the intro here. We got almost 300 viewers. If you can, please like, share, and comment on this episode. Let everyone know. We are the news now. This is a red pill, I guess you could say red pill YouTube channel. We are just trying to get the truth out here. That is what we're about here at Woke Society. So let's jump into the content, shall we? First thing I want to get out of the way. This was some real news. This dropped yesterday, and a lot of you already know this happened, but this is big. This is so big because what's going on right now, Trump is going to have probably the biggest triumphant comeback probably in any president in history. And as far as the economy goes, it's probably going to break what records he already set. So I wanted to bring this up and start the show with this because I want to try to stay as positive as I can tonight, even though the content we're going to get into is dark and dreary and it's going to make people upset. It is what it is. It's just the way the world works, but this is great news. So we're looking at an article here from the Epoch Times, and it's Trump is suspending immigration into U.S. to protect public health and economy. And I just saw before I jumped on air here, this is going to be a 60-day ban on any immigrants trying to, I believe, get new green cards. And again, as soon as this news came out, we all knew this was going to be turned into a clown show by the Democrats and the Democratic media. And it already did. When the news broke out, we already saw the racist tweets coming out saying this is completely racist. We saw the race card come up again. This is not news. But what is news is what Trump called here as an executive order to stop immigration for the first 60 days that the economy is going to reopen. And if you guys haven't noticed yet, have you guys noticed that this president that we have named Donald Trump cares about Americans and puts America first? Unlike the last 8 years that we had in the past administration, where we pretty much got shit on by every country, lost respect, got walked on, jobs flowing out of the country, just completely bleeding our country dry. So what do we have here? President Donald Trump said he'll soon sign an executive order to temper. Now this was, yesterday? This has been done already. He did sign this executive order temporarily suspending immigration into the United States, a move made, according to a top advisor, to protect American people. In light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States, Trump wrote in a Twitter post late Monday. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany added in a statement, President Trump is committed to protecting the health and economic well-being of American citizens as we face unprecedented times. At a time when Americans are looking to get back to work, action is necessary. And that's exactly what this is. And you can see here, Trump keeps calling the CCP virus the invisible enemy, also known as the novel coronavirus. But the virus causes COVID-19, a disease linked to tens of thousands. We already know this. And the article goes on talking about the plan to enact this. That's really, as far as the article, what I just wanted to bring up here. Trump is halting immigration because, again, he cares about America first. And he's been doing this since he's been the president of the United States. And you guys have to think about this. He is a 5D chess player. He is always 10 steps ahead of the, as far as we know, as the deep state, but definitely 10 steps ahead of the Democrats. They're already using this rhetoric as a race card to throw in Trump's face. And pretty much what this is going to do, because we know what the Dems are going to do. The Dems are going to say this is racist. You should allow people that are not legally allowed in this country to get jobs. What is that going to do to the Dems' image right now? Because right now you still have Nancy Pelosi that has not gone back to DC to help with these business loans, which is, I think, it has to go to the House tomorrow to be approved, which is going to go through. But you guys have seen Trump talking about Nancy Pelosi. Where have you been? Get back to your job to help America while you show off your $24,000 refrigerators and your top line ice cream. But you think the Dems are going to sit well when they're talking about giving people that aren't even citizens of the country jobs before the Americans that have been without work 2 or 3 months now first? You think that's going to go over well? Trump is using this as a political advantage, and it's very obvious, and it's going to work. When the economy is up and running within the next, it's going to start rolling out in May, and by the end of the summer, things are going to be full speed again, and it's going to be just an absolute rollover of this dark, dreary time that we're in right now. It's going to be fantastic. And just to throw into, the beginning of the show is just going to be some random news topics I want to get everyone updated on, and then we're going to jump into the WHO, UN, and Bill Gates. So yesterday, this is from Zero Hedge. Yesterday was scary. Today is a lot more scary. Black gold bloodbath as paper oil plunges everywhere. Everyone was hearing that oil, the price of oil was plunging. Gas is going to be super piss cheap for a little while. Well, that's okay. It's good for the consumer. It's not good for these oil companies, though. But from what it seems like, it's just going to be a temporary thing, as is this entire situation with the COVID virus. Forget turnaround Tuesday. Oil is a dangerous market to trade in right now, said Pierre Autorand, founder of Autorand Capital Management LLP, in a Bloomberg TV interview. The market needs shut-ins to happen now, he said. This has changed everything, said Monica Malik, chief economist at Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank. So much of the recent recovery was based on the fact that the oil price had been above $50 to $60, providing support to economic activity, and that's just been decimated. This price slump was psychologically very important, said Eugene Weinberg, Commerce Bank AG's head of commodity research. There is a possibility it'll change perceptions forever. The best summary of today's chaos came from Bloomberg energy reporter Javier Blas, who put it simply, yesterday was scary. Today is a lot more scary. The whole oil market is screaming oversupply simultaneously. June WTI, which 4 weeks away from expiry, just touched $6. I think that's $6.50 a barrel. The market is going to force huge production cuts, not in May or June, but immediately. And a big reason why I want to bring this up is only because I saw some people panicking. I saw people panicking because they were saying, oh God, the price of oil is going to go down. Are we going to lose access to gas because so many people are going to be buying it? Or are we going to run out and then we will have means for transportation? I just want to say, everybody, it's going to be okay. The gas is going to be there. The oil is going to be there. We're going to be just fine. It's just something to look at and just to monitor while we all go through this huge change. And a big reason, one of the big reasons why this dipped is because you guys probably heard over the last night that Kim Jong-un was brain dead, had a heart attack, and God knows what other fake news that was coming through the lines last night and this morning. Because I woke up and I looked at my phone. I'm like, holy crap. Is Kim dead? And no one could verify it. Before we get into that, I want to just take a look at this. Have you guys seen this video? I'm bringing it up now because it's not going to really go into what else I want to talk about towards the middle and the end of the show, but I wanted to throw this video out here. You guys may have seen this. This was on Twitter. This has almost 600,000 views. This was another hot mic incident with Fox News John Roberts. And here he's talking about numbers, the coronavirus being a hoax, the numbers being a hoax, and something about vaccinations. Check this out.
What's up, Barry?
All right, man.
What do you know, Barry?
You can take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3.
Is it really? That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health study found that there's 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 142,000 people.
Really?
Yeah. That makes it 4.1. Would suggest a fatality rate of 10.
Wow.
That's the right line with the... Yeah, exactly.
If you guys can't hear what he's saying here, wow, this puts it right in line with the flu.
So it was a hoax.
It was a hoax.
All right.
And it cuts out right there. Cuts out right there. But the weird thing is here is when the gentleman said, we've all been vaccinated here. Now, I don't want to go dive too much into this and be like, what else is going on here? They could be simply talking about just they just get the plain old regular vaccinations that are already on the market, or are they talking about a coronavirus vaccine that's already been out there and it's being used, but the public doesn't know about it yet. But these people here in these Washington, the press, inside the press room, maybe they got something already. But it was just very interesting here. But you can see the attitude of people behind the scenes and what they're talking about. It's been lining up with a lot of things that we've been saying ourselves, the ones that have been calling conspiracy theorists and people that aren't taking this virus seriously. It's hard. What do you do as a people when you see videos like that? You're going to give them the benefit of the doubt? You're not. You're absolutely not. And just another video here that I want to show you guys, because this is big. It's big when you see this, because a lot of people, especially myself, our main markets right now are on YouTube. They're on YouTube, and I have done nothing but trash the WHO. Now listen to what Susan Wojcicki here. I'm not even pronouncing her name right, but it doesn't matter. She's a communist. Let's listen to what she's saying here on CNN about the WHO and what they're going to be doing with content that goes against the communist narrative. Let's take a watch.
We've actually seen a 75% increase in the news coming from authoritative sources since the beginning of 2020. So we've seen a lot of demand there. But then we also...
What does that mean? That means an increase in video views for those?
Yeah. And so we talk about that as raising authoritative information. But then we also talk about removing information that is problematic. Of course, anything that is medically unsubstantiated. So people saying like, take vitamin C, take turmeric, like those all will cure you. Those are the examples of things that would be a violation of our policy.
You're right, Susan. Anything that we mention of a natural remedy, we're going to delete those videos and get rid of that. She is totally okay with this. Totally okay with this. You just heard it from her own mouth. Vitamin C and turmeric. From what I've heard, no one's saying this is a cure, but it's something naturally that can help your own body. Nobody's proclaiming it can cure COVID. And if they are, then yeah, then those videos can take it out. But I've yet to see, and I'm going to ask you guys, have you guys seen any videos proclaiming that? I haven't. Let's continue.
Anything that would go against World Health Organization recommendations would be a violation of our policy. And so remove is another really important part of our policy.
So you're not just putting the truth next to the lie, you're taking the lie down. That's a pretty aggressive approach.
Well, I mean, we do remove, across YouTube in non-pandemic times, information that is a violation of our policy. And we've had community guidelines since the very beginning of YouTube, and we've always, anything that is a violation of our policy, we do remove it. And what was really unique about this was just how fast-moving the COVID-19 crisis was. And so we've had to make numerous policy changes all within a really short period of time to be able to make sure that we stayed abreast of the changes. So
we had to make numerous policy changes to keep up with the COVID-19. It just sounds like more bullshit excuses to just keep giving more reasons to censor anybody that's actually putting legit, good, sourced information in their YouTube videos. And I'm not saying go out there and start just putting all these natural cures online and just promoting them as a cure-all. And I know some of those do exist out there. I'm not promoting that now because I'm not trying to get the stream taken down. You guys know what I mean. It's just another excuse for her and YouTube to just keep the suppression pressure on the creators that are in this that are doing this kind of work. And it just drives me up the wall. Completely drives me up the wall. It's all content that isn't medically substantiated, but yet I can drop a medical journal talking about some of these things and it can still get taken down. Absolutely crazy. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, everyone knows about Kim Jong-un, and this is what I saw last night. This was the first report that I saw last night. Breaking from 911, reporter says Kim Jong-un is brain dead. Later deletes tweet. And I think this was the tweet that was deleted. She works for NBC. Wow, what a surprise, right? This was her tweet. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is brain dead according to 2 U.S. officials. He recently had cardiac surgery and slipped into a coma. According to one U.S. current and one former U.S. official, NBC News confirms and adds to CNN scoop for me. And I guess this is some beat writer at CNN. But 2 huge fake news outlets. And it got taken down, it got deleted, and nobody really knew what was going on with Kim Jong-un because this morning, I think it was South Korea that was putting the kibosh on this, but this actually had an effect on the markets. There was a dip in the markets, especially for the oil. It had a reaction to the oil because they didn't know what was going to go on in North Korea. If Kim had died, who is the leader? Who takes over? Who is going to be... What is going to be that whole entire situation? But it was this whole shit show going on. Huge shit show. So as we look here from Zero Hedge, let's just look at what some of the articles that were written about here. This is crazy. Earlier headlines from Daily North Korea, a website run mostly by North Korean defectors, report that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un recently had a cardiovascular surgical procedure and is now mostly recovered, citing unidentified sources inside the isolated state, saying Kim is recovering at villa in the Mount Kuming Resort County of Hyesan on the East Coast after getting the procedure on April 12th at a hospital there. However, CNN has upped the ante and reported that the U.S. is monitoring intelligence that North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, is in grave danger after a surgery, according to a U.S. official with direct knowledge. Kim last appeared in North Korean state media on April 11th. April 15, North Korea's most important holiday, the anniversary of the birth of the country's founding father, Kim Sung, came and went without official mention of Kim Jong-un's movement or explanation of his absence. CNN notes that Kim Jong-un's absence from a parade celebrating North Korea's 60th anniversary in 2008 was followed by rumblings that he was in poor health. But even so, this is from Al Saw Bureau Chief for VOA, William Gallo. He tweeted this: bottom line, there is hell of a difference between U.S. officials think Kim Jong-un is in grave danger and U.S. officials have read unconfirmed media reports about Kim Jong-un being in grave danger. We need to know which this is. The market for now appears to be erring on the side of CNN's warnings and stock tumble. And it's sad on the market's fault that they would determine news from CNN to actually affect their markets. And I think this was later updated that it actually did go back up after South Korea did update them that Kim Jong-un was in fact okay, as far as we know. But if you just look at the man, he's not obviously in great health. You can tell this by his body. He's not in good health. And there's been rumors that his health hasn't been good for a long time. But either way, waking up to the news that Kim had died, along with what I'm going to be talking about next, it was just like, what the hell is going on? What in the actual hell? So that's why I put this on the thumbnail. I thought this was pretty funny. Kim Jong-un, this is obviously a fake Twitter account, but someone made the meme on it, said, I have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. And of course, the whole entire world knows when someone dies or someone commits suicide, it's somehow related to the Clintons. Who knows? Would it really surprise you at this point? Wouldn't surprise me at all. Let's jump into this funny video real quick, and then we're going to get into the hacking that we all heard about of the WHO and the UN. We're going to get into that. And I'm just going to give you guys some warnings about what I found there. But I wanted to show this because this was ridiculous. If you guys saw yesterday from yesterday's press conference, Trump's talking about the ventilators. And we're going to talk about the ventilators in just a moment. But did you guys see the video of him talking about how he's the king of ventilators all over the world? Check this out because, again, this is our wonderful president just being him and being awesome.
King of ventilators all over the world. We can say it was all ventilators. And the reason it was all ventilators, they said there's no way he'll ever be able to catch this one. And not only did we catch it, we are now the king of ventilators all over the world. We can send them anywhere. We have thousands being made a week, and they're very high quality. And that wasn't playing well. So then they said, testing. Oh, we'll get them on testing. Well, testing is much easier than ventilators. It was all ventilators.
So yeah, he's just talking about ventilators, and if you guys watch the press conference, that's all he was talking about, and everyone was like trying to dig to find if there was an actual reason or some kind of decode for this. I didn't think there really was. What this is Trump showing the world that, because everyone wanted to blame Trump for not reacting too fast, reacting too slow. No matter what he did, it was going to be destroyed by the media anyways. But you guys all remembered the states were bitching and whining that they didn't have tests, they didn't have the ventilators, they didn't have anything. So Trump reacted super fast, and we're going to see in this thread here what exactly it took to get these ventilators and why it was so important that it's happened. And now we have so much, we have an excess that we're actually we're selling ventilators to other countries, making a profit off of it. So I wanted to show you guys this. This is from Carlos Oswada, and I have the source here in the description notes below the episode. So let's just read this real quick. He said, I can finally give you a hard number for mechanical ventilators in the US. This should lay to rest the notion that Donald Trump was either slow to react or overreacted. The people saying that Trump was slow to react are either lying or not informed. The people saying Trump overreacted don't understand that problem we faced. We've never had so many people need mechanical ventilators so quickly. Everything had to be closed so that number of patients requiring ventilators would not skyrocket. If people hadn't stayed home, even states where there are very few cases would have been overwhelmed. We prevented that. Prior to COVID-19, hospitals in the U.S. had a total of 62,000 full-featured mechanical ventilators. That number hadn't changed in 10 years. Hospitals also had 98,738 old basic function ventilators that may or may not have worked. The CDC Strategic National Stockpile had an estimated 12,700 basic function ventilators, not the ones they needed. For emergency purposes, they were severely underwhelmed or unprepared, I guess you could say, the best word for it, for ventilators. We had 173,000 ventilators, of which 110,000 cannot have been operated for sustained periods. So pretty much you didn't have enough. And all this information is here in this link here, which I provided in the description below, so you guys can look at it yourself and make sure this is all good. The state stockpiles are unknown, but Trump said in one of his press conferences that we emptied and replenished the Strategic National Stockpile twice. Trump was told that we didn't have the ability to protect the public from COVID-19, period. So he knew what was going on. He knew. Instead of panicking, he acted. The models don't matter, and we know the models don't matter. They've all been severely downgraded. If we hadn't shut down the country, plenty of you reading this would be dead. That's because there weren't enough ventilators. Trump knew that. He had a short window in which to act. The existing supplies of ventilators would see us through as long as we mitigated and went on a crash program to manufacture these ventilators. Got that? We had enough ventilators if we stayed at home and built more of the bastards. General Motors learned how to build ventilators in 11 days. Remember what happened when Trump pushed travel restrictions on China. Democrats immediately arranged for people to go out and mingle as much as possible to inflict maximum damage because, again, we know the Democrats are always and willing to cash in on a catastrophe. Imagine if Trump had issued mitigation guidelines before he did. Democrats would have killed many thousands of people simply to defy Trump. And we know that's true because the media doesn't give a shit, neither do the Dems. They don't care about you. So this is what happened. Trump and the VP Pence are the two most informed people on the planet. They knew full well how bad this could get, so they calculate how long they had before they had to issue mitigate guidelines and explain what was happening. The danger was the Democrats and the press, but I repeat myself, would allow the spread of the disease simply to show their contempt for Trump. And that's disgusting. So Trump downplayed the disease while working feverishly behind the scenes, and we all see that. There's a huge headline. All the lefties, all the liberals. He's just downplaying this. He's making it sound like a big deal. His followers are just calling it the fever. And the Carlos continues here. There's an old joke. I don't call dying broke a tragedy. I call it perfect timing. Trump and Pence timed it perfectly. Never forget. Trump was impeached for 2 non-crimes. His opponents are enemy agents. No president has endured such headwinds, but he and Pence still have the last laugh. So we will see the sane end. And it was just somebody that provided good sauce, good numbers, and now we are the king of ventilators. And I know I've seen the article where people were saying the ventilators were actually damaging people, and there was some truth to that. There was some truth to that. But either way, well, what do we hear? There's not enough tests. We don't have enough ventilators. There was enough ventilators. They were made, and now we have such an excess that we're actually selling them to other countries. It's unreal. Unreal. All right, so let's transition. Let's get into the meat of the episode, shall we? This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is good news. This is from Newsweek. Not that I like to use Newsweek all the time, but as far as this instance, this was good. World Health Organization approval rating tanks by 29 points in less than a month. The WHO net approval rating has plunged by 29 points since the start of April amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, a new poll has found. Morning Consult pollsters revealed on Tuesday that the Global Health Group's net approval rating slumped from 54% at the start of April to 25% at the end of the last week. That is a huge drop. Huge drop. According to the new poll conducted between April 17th and April 19th, 55% of registered U.S. voters either strongly or somewhat approved the WHO's handling of the novel coronavirus outbreak. 30% disapproved, while a further 14% had no opinion. When the same poll was conducted between April 3rd and April 5th, 71% of voters said they approved the WHO's work and just 17% disapproved of its actions. Morning Consult reported that the WHO's approval rating was hit by a huge shift in Republican opinion on its handling of the COVID-19 panic. It wasn't Republican opinion, it's just the truth opinion. It's ridiculous how they word these things. But this made me happy. Because you know why? This is why I titled the episode the way I did. The quick decay of the old guard. And the old guard is these organizations that have been set up by the deep state long time ago. They've had their run, they've done their damage, and now people are waking up. Because don't forget, WHO is under the umbrella of the UN. The UN is the parent company, essentially, of the WHO and whatever other little organizations they have, but it's directly, they answer to the UN. And if you guys know our history properly, the UN was created, it's a globalist thing. It was a globalist agenda to make the UN. Anything global, anything globalist can go right out the window, in my opinion. That's just the way I feel about it. So let's go into where the WHO started and what exactly the WHO's plan was. And some of you might know this already, but I wanted to bring it up because I found an excellent research journal on WHO, the Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation, and the UN. And I'm going to show this here. You guys might have saw this tweet just yesterday. I thought this was big because it perfectly lays out a timeline of what happened with WHO, when it started, the players, and when the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation came in, and what they did to these poor people out in, I think this was in Kenya. So I'm going to bring it up here. I have all this in the description below so you guys can read it yourself. This is a 32-page research journal into what Bill Gates did with his foundation, with WHO, and these tetanus shots that were given to these Kenyans that actually made these women completely infertile, sterilize them. This was all part of the depopulation agenda. This is real sauce, ladies and gentlemen. This is not from an article. This is not from some BS thing you get on Twitter sometimes. This is real sauce. This is vetted information with sources. So I want to look at this right now. When did all this start here? You guys might have a hard time seeing this on the screen, but it's okay. I'll go through it quickly. 1916, Margaret Sanger opens first U.S. birth control clinic, and in 1921 launches the American Birth Control League. We fast forward to 1942. The Birth Control League is renamed Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood. Their goals was to curb population and eliminate the unfit. So we go to 1945 to 48. WHO is established, and with the goal of easing social and economic burdens of owed to diseases. 1961 to 74, USAID and UN studies lead to Kissinger report and policy of anti-fertility measures in LDCs. 76, WHO researchers announced TT linked to pregnancy hormone beta. This is a HCG as first WHO anti-fertility vaccine. This was a health. What's it called? I forgot what HCG is. Human growth hormone, I think it's called. Something like that. Either ways, published research on WHO birth control vaccines accelerates. 1994, WHO evidently used a tetanus sosoid vaccine laced with anti-fertility component in Mexico. Now, originally, people, why this is so important. These women had no idea they were being injected with anti-fertility components in these vaccines. They thought they were just getting a tetanus shot, but that wasn't the case. So 1 year elapses, we have again in 1994, WHO is accused of lacing a tetanus vaccine in Nicaragua and the Philippines with anti-fertility agent. Another year passes, 1995, WHO will not submit tetanus vaccine for analysis and cancels proposed Kenya campaign. So the WHO actually canceled their campaign because they were getting lit up for it. They were getting lit up for it. They didn't want to show what was actually happening. So this is before the Gates Foundation or Bill Gates was even involved with them. Now, right after this, after the WHO was getting burned for their bad tetanus vaccines, look who came in to save them. Right here in the middle, within a decade and a half in 2010, Bill and Melinda Gates commit $10 billion to vaccines and population reduction as related research grows from a stream to a virtual flood. Bill Gates saved the WHO, saved them, and wanted to get his new tetanus vaccines out. So, here we go. October 2013, WHO administers first round of Kenya campaign vaccine. So Kenya was originally canceled. And then it spurred up again because Bill Gates gave them $10 billion to make these new vaccines. So they administered these first rounds of vaccines. 3 months later, December 24th, Kenya Catholic Doctors Association launched in Nairobi. 3 months elapsed. March 2014, WHO administers the second round. And the Catholic doctors are now saying there's analysis and things are not looking good. So we'll go to October 2014. WHO tells BBC Catholic doctors' fears are unfounded. Kenyan vaccine is safe. So these Catholic priests and these Catholics here knew there was something up. These Catholic doctors knew there was something up with this vaccine, but the WHO said your fears are unfounded. The vaccine is safe. And just to fast forward here to the end, we're up to January 23rd, 2015. They did find that these pregnancy hormones were tested, and they did find these anti-fertility components in the vaccines, and at least half of the vaccines that were administered. It gives I just ripped through this timeline as fast as possible, but you guys can all read this. It's all in the description below, but it gets really interesting because they bring up Planned Parenthood. And it says right here, in 1942, the American Birth Control League, having been publicly criticized as anti-family and pro-promiscuity, words used by Mike Wallace while interviewing Sanger on September 21st, 1957, changed its name to Planned Parenthood with Margaret Sanger at the helm from 52 to 59. In the period from 45 to 48 after World War II had ended, while the WHO was being conceptualized and becoming the first worldwide subordinate agency under the auspices of the UN Planned Parenthood, headed by Bill Gates' father, was promoting the idea of that population growth, unless halted or reduced by governmental intervention, would inevitably lead to a worldwide famine, disease, the destabilization of governments, and at least one world war. Guys, this was started with Bill Gates' father, and he passed down these ideas to his son, all about population control. Because, guys, the reason why I thought this was so important, because I saw everyone talking about Bill Gates before I even knew Bill Gates was bad. I could never find the sauce for these things, for these accusations, but here it is, right here. It's right here. And just to go over one more thing I wanted to show everybody on here is the discussion parts. And we'll just go through a couple of these bullet points. So this is pretty much what they summarized as the results of what happened. So let's see here. The WHO has been seeking to engineer anti-fertility vaccines since the early 70s. Reducing global population growth, especially in LDCs, through anti-fertility measures has long been declared a central goal of USAID, UN, WHO, family planning. And the word family planning is just the snowflake term of abortion. We're going to cut down population. Family planning is like what they do in China. When you give birth to a certain gender, sometimes it doesn't fit. So who knows what happens to those? We can figure out what happens to those babies. But they call it family planning. It's disgusting. Spokespersons associated with the Catholic Church and pro-life groups have published suspicions, at least since the early 1990s, that the WHO was misrepresenting clinical trials of one or more anti-fertility campaigns as part of the worldwide WHO project to eliminate maternal and neonatal tetanus. Comparisons of the published schedules for TT virus. Okay, we'll just skip through that. Multiple analysis of samples of WHO tetanus vaccines alleged by one or more Catholic spokespersons to have been obtained from vials actually being administered by WHO officials as tetanus prophylactics were found to contain HCG. And this HCG is what ended up making these women sterile. And the worst part is, we'll jump out of this research paper and continue. The worst part is after the 5th injection, they were permanently sterile. So they were depopulating in Kenya. And that's just what we know. Because these vaccines are everywhere. And you want to talk about getting a vaccine for the coronavirus made by this same man through the WHO? You're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. It just makes me sick. And just to bring in, so I want to bring in I wanted to talk. I actually wanted to talk about this before I brought up the research paper, but I woke up this morning and saw these tweets, and I can't even show you guys the tweets because they've been deleted. They've already been taken off, and I did retweet what one of the people were saying, and that was totally my fault. Didn't look at it, didn't look into it enough. I just retweeted, but everyone saw that the WHO, supposedly the WHO, the Wuhan labs, they all got hacked into, right? Some anons dropped these links with emails and passwords, and people were going ham. They were going all over the place trying to find anything they could find on the Wuhan lab, who released it, all that stuff. All these tweets have now been deleted. All of them. And at first, I thought it was something legit. It looked legit because I shared it, I retweeted it. But I'm telling you right now, after looking at it and just talking to other anons on Twitter and through direct messages, this looks like something of a trap. I'm just telling everybody right now, I deleted the one tweet already, but don't touch it. Do not touch it. Stay away from it. It doesn't look like any of it's legit, and by now we probably would have heard something that if it was legit. But it's not. From what I've seen, there's nothing that could be found that was good in it. And the reason why I'm kind of on the other side of this now is because it's being tweeted out now by mainstream outlets, and a narrative is already being built that Nazis or something were on the boards and they created these things and they're using it. They're going to end up turning it on the Q community. You can guarantee it tomorrow. You're going to see something tomorrow being linked to 8chan or 8kun with these hacked messages and tweets. You're going to see it. That is what I think this is going to go. Some of it looked real. but I don't want to talk about some of the details only because I already know there's some people on YouTube that put the tweets in their videos and YouTube has already taken them down. So I'm not even going to go there. But we're seeing these attacks. We're seeing the WHO. I just showed you guys this research journal with all this stuff with Gates, with what he did in Kenya. And I showed you guys last week what he did. I can't remember the country now. It's completely lost my mind. But either way, the world's not happy with Bill Gates. And I can tell you why, because of this. If you go right now to petitions.whitehouse, we the people, there's a petition now for investigating the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for medical malpractice and crimes against humanity. It only takes 100,000 signatures to get a response from the White House for a certain topic. And you guys can see here, there are 390,000 signatures already. 390,000. And they need this by May 10th. They already hit the goal. People are waking up. And if they ever do an investigation of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, he'll probably end up being dead by the time they get down to the bottom of every single thing he's ever done. Because it's massive. Absolutely massive. I've heard this before. It makes the Clinton Foundation look like child's play compared to what Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has done. Crazy. But this is, again, these organizations are being exposed, and I'm going to continue to expose them right now. This is why I keep saying the decay of the old guard is coming out, and people are seeing it. And this is an article here from the Federalist talking about the sex propaganda that the WHO has been using on children. President Trump just defunded the World Health Organization. This is a huge win for the people of the world, especially children. It is widely agreed that the WHO mishandled the COVID-19 outbreak and displayed behavior, the evidence. We know this lined up with China. So, what is less well known is the WHO's alliance with organizations that promote what they call sexual rights for children, which can be better understood as encouraging sexual behavior and ideas from an extremely young age. The WHO is a United Nations entity that was launched as one of the original UN organizations in the late 1940s. In the years that followed, the WHO has undertaken initiatives around the world that have undoubtedly served public health. In more recent decades, however, the WHO has become an avid supporter of the push to sexualize children and a comprehensive sexuality education which exploits children to alter sexual norms. This sounds pretty disgusting, right, people? Let's continue. On the WHO's official website, International Planned Parenthood Federation is listed as one of the WHO's major partners. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? Planned Parenthood is one of the largest world abortion providers. Additionally, the names and logos of the top-tier UN agencies, including the WHO, all appear on the front cover of UNESCO's International Technical Guidance on Sexuality Education, published in January 2018. This document posted on the WHO website is laced with references to childhood sexuality, including these statements. Now look at this. This is terrible. Young people want and need sexuality and sexual health information as early and comprehensively as possible. That's news to me. I didn't know kids wanted to know about it at such a young age. I certainly didn't. Children should have agency in their own sexual practices and relationships. Comprehensive sexuality education can help children form respectful and healthy relationships with sexual partners. And I'm all for giving people, letting parents educate their children on sexual stuff. That's totally fine. That's completely up to the parent when that can happen. But look at the agenda that's being pushed here. In all their pamphlets here, this is their learning objectives between ages 9 and 12. Look at one of the things here. Legal abortion performed under sterile conditions by medically trained personnel is safe. They're already programming kids that are reading this stuff to know, in case you do have a baby at such a young age, it is completely safe and normal to have an abortion, so we can take that baby out of your life and you can be on your merry way. Sick stuff. This is programming. As we go down here, definition, reasons for and legality of abortion. They really nail home the abortion card. Health risk associated respectively with safe and legal abortion and with illegal and unsafe abortion. They really want the kids to know about the abortion. It's an option. It's an option, kids. So if you do mess up, guess what? Come right to Planned Parenthood. We'll take care of you and zip you right up. You'll be just fine. But it gets worse. This is from 2011 document from the WHO. Sexuality and sexual pleasure are important parts of being human for everyone. I'm sure everyone can agree on that, no matter what age. But that's where it gets problem right here. No matter what age, no matter if you were married or not, and no matter if you want to have children or not, there is a common misconception that young people are not or should not be sexual beings, with the exception of certain groups such as married young people or young people above a certain age. Sexuality is a central aspect of being human during all phases of each person's life. This is almost poking and prodding young children to have sexual intercourse. And when they do get pregnant and have a baby, come to us and we'll take care of the baby and we'll profit off of you. It's essentially what this is saying, if you can read between the lines. But notice the phrases, no matter what age and at all phases of each person's life, which appear to make no exception nor distinction for toddlers or babies. Sick stuff. No wonder IPPF is pushing to reduce the age of sexual consent across the world. Interestingly, both IPPF and the WHO were also pushing to legalize prostitution or sex work. In fact, at decriminalizesexwork.org, the WHO is listed as an official supporter of the decriminalization cause. If pursued, these two interesting efforts to legalize prostitution and lower the age of sexual consent could lead to legalized prostitution of children in the name of children's sexual rights. Wow, so yeah, you can tell, guys, Susan's not gonna like this video on YouTube. Wouldn't like that. But again, this is what happens when you dig and you find certain things about these organizations and who they're involved with and what their agenda really is. This is all about abortions. And whether you agree with abortions or not, that's not what that's what we're talking about tonight. Abortions do lead to these baby parts being sold on the black market. That's the truth. That's the truth. And I do agree that abortion is okay sometimes, in certain situations, but when there's organizations like this that are programming minds before the opportunity is there for them to even make a responsible decision, they're programming minds. That is what I have a problem with. You're not even giving people, their minds are being raped. That's what it is. Your mind is being raped and you don't even know it. Disgusting. This is disgusting. So, it's not just the WHO, though. It's not just the WHO. I wanted to bring this article up. This is an older article. This is from 2018, but still relevant till today. Because remember who the WHO is underneath. The UN is the parent. They're the mommy company. They're the daddy company. They're the ones that rule over these other organizations. So this is from The Sun. The UN aid workers raped 60,000 people as its claimed organization employs 3,300 pedophiles. And you know this stuff is real and it's out there. It's terrible. The claim is in a bombshell dossier that former senior United Nations official Andrew McLeod handed over to DFID Secretary Priti Patel last year. In it, Professor McLeod also estimated there are 3,300 pedophiles working for the world body's various agencies alone. Thousands more predatory sex abusers specifically target a charity. Jobs get close to vulnerable women and children. And this sounds just like our child protective care services here in the United States. If you end up in the system as a child, you almost have no shot. You're going to end up with some sick person, most likely a pedophile. These are where these people prey on the weak. And the article continues. And then there has been an endemic cover-up of the sickening crimes for 2 decades, with those who attempt to blow the whistle just getting fired. Sharing his dossier with The Sun, Professor McLeod last night warned that the spiraling abuse scandal was on the same scale as the Catholic churches. Same scale, and I'm sure it's probably just as worse. The respected academic said, there are tens of thousands of aid workers around the world with pedophile tendencies, but if you wear a UNICEF t-shirt, nobody will ask you what you're up to. That's scary. That's it's so bad. You have the impunity to do whatever you want. It is an endemic across the aid industry across the world. The system is at fault and should have stopped this years ago. And it continues on with more numbers. And it's really sad because these poor countries are already dealing with so much shit as it is. So much shit. And these people that are coming in to supposedly help them are just coming in there they do more damage. And nobody helps these people. They just continue on with their lives. It's awful. This is why I'm exposing them tonight, ladies and gentlemen. People need to know this stuff. People need to know this stuff. And as we all know as well, Hollywood is a big problem, is a big part of this. Big part of this. Because everyone, just like the Who is cozying up to China, and so does Hollywood. And this is why from Breitbart says Hollywood has 9 billion reasons to not blame China for the coronavirus pandemic. Anybody that is defending the Who at this point, cozying up to Who, China, you're a sellout. You are a sellout. And this is why I've cut the cable on mostly everything. Disney's Guardians of the Galaxy star David Bautista, he's attacked President Donald Trump for his handling of the coronavirus pandemic as one of Hollywood's most prominent anti-Trump voices. Bautista has fired off tweets insulting the commander-in-chief. But the actor has been conspicuously silent when it comes to China, and he, along with the rest of the entertainment industry, have billions of reasons to stay quiet as more evidence points to actions that China's dictators sought to hide the true gravity of the coronavirus outbreak and silencing the doctor who tried to speak out. We all know this. What kind of influence, what kind of infiltration does China have with our Hollywood, our entertainment, and our sports? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot. Billions of reasons, as the article says. As Hollywood continues to shift to ever more expensive tentpole movie releases, the major studios are relying on Chinese moviegoers to turn a profit. But to gain access to the world's second largest movie market, they have to first play nice with China's film officials, who control which foreign titles get to play in the country's more than 60,000 cinemas. Movie stars looking to find work in Hollywood need only glance at the figures to know that staying quiet about China is good for their careers and their coffers. The Chinese box office has skyrocketed in the last 10 years. Officials claim that Chinese cinemas brought in $9.2 billion last year compared to just $910 a decade ago. What a jump that is, huh? You don't think China has influence in our media? Hollywood? Sports? As the star of four Marvel superhero movies, David Bautista, the guy I just told you about, stands to gain a lot through Disney's close ties with Beijing. The last 2 Avenger movies he appeared in grossed a combined $4.85 billion worldwide, with China accounting for 20% of their intake, more than any other territory outside of North America. And last year, the top 25 grossing Hollywood movies reaped more than 11% of their worldwide box office revenue from China. Hollywood's addiction to China was already an ethical dilemma before the Wuhan coronavirus shut down the global economy. And they've been looked at. John Culberson from Texas, Republican, asked the Justice Department to look into the Chinese investment in Hollywood, saying the multi-billion-dollar acquisitions allowed Chinese state-controlled companies a significant degree of control over the financing and content of American media. And that raises concerns for propaganda purposes. No shit. It's just crazy. And the really thing that pisses me off is it's not just Hollywood. It's in sports. Because before the virus completely took over everything, everyone knows about LeBron James and what they were talking about with, I forgot what it was called. This was, in regards to Hong Kong protesters, right? Everyone knew about the Hong Kong protesters. Everyone was backing them. But the NBA stars were saying nothing. Literally saying nothing. And we know the NBA is a huge, huge partner with China. Huge deals with China. And one of the GMs from one of the teams spoke up against China. And it caused a huge shitstorm. Political shitstorm. And the GM actually got slapped in the hand for saying what he said. He was defending the protesters. And China didn't like that. And you got all the big time stars, LeBron James being the biggest, saying absolutely nothing about the protesters, essentially defending China. Sellouts. Sellouts, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they are. But again, this is the picture I'm trying to paint everybody. You see the connections, you see what these organizations are in. There's always a common theme, and the players are usually the same. And you're seeing who's aligning with who, and eventually Hollywood, they're going to go to the wayside. It's already happening now. And it's going to be a glorious day. So I was going to get into a thread about Lady Gaga, but it's already been an hour. I'm going to skip right through that. I wanted to get in just one more article, then I'm going to end the show with 2 funny videos, and I'll read some of the chats, and we'll enjoy the rest of our night. So the New York Times published an article today about Marina Abramovich. Just wants conspiracy theorists to let her be. And this is what she said: "I am an artist, not a Satanist." The performance artist said after an online outcry prompted Microsoft to take down a video of her, it's not the first time she's faced the accusation. And it's really unbelievable. And I'm not even going to read this article just for time's sake, but I have it linked here. The one part I wanted to read here is, I think this. Yeah, "I need to open my heart," Miss Abramovich said. "I really want to ask these people, can you stop with this? Can you stop harassing me? Can you see that this is just the art I've been doing for 50 years of my life?" My God, if my daughter was into art like this, I don't know what I would do. And of course, they link it to the conspiracy theory goes back to October 2016, linked to the Podesta emails because, they call it a conspiracy, but yet the emails were very real. You can find them online right now. And they talk about the spirit cooking email, and then they relate it back to Pizza Fence. Always downplaying, always shooting it down. But Marina just wants all the info. I put it on my Twitter. Wants all the InfoWars people to stop harassing her, stop treating her like a piece of garbage because she's just doing her art. It's just art, people. Look, this is just art, right? All this is just art. Am I going crazy? Is this normal? This is just art, right? This is what this is what she does at her parties. It's disgusting. Disgusting. So, anyways, gonna end the show. Just a minute here. Gonna play you guys some videos you might have seen. This tweet here. This is why Trump's awesome. This tweet is pinned on Donald Trump's Twitter right now. If you guys didn't see the ad, this is fantastic. Take a watch.
Oh, no, not another commercial. The kid used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was trained, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I love kids jumping on my lap.
I love it. I love it. Now I'll probably get a copyright strike for that stupid song at the end there. But yes, we all know Obama has now endorsed Joe Biden. But again, Donald Trump pulling off the mastery troll job. And that tweet right now is currently pinned to his Twitter. And one more video. If you guys didn't hear, Hunter Biden got the coronavirus. So this is just a video of Hunter and his father talking about what it is like getting the coronavirus. Here we go.
A while because I went back a while back and got tested. Got the results in, and it states that I am positive for COVID-19, and that it's time to really take this serious. I mean, all my friends and family that's out there, I need you to take this serious because hold on, baby, 1 second. Because it's a serious issue.
This thing says that you've been tested positive for cocaine on the 19th, not COVID-19.
You tested positive for cocaine on the 19th, you fool. I love it. I love it. So I know we talked a lot about a lot of deep, dark things. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all everything's gonna be, we're all gonna be okay. We're all gonna be all right. So just keep that positive perspective. The energy right now is still so thick. I can feel it. But it's okay. We're all going to get through this. We're all here still together. And we got almost, wow. I haven't been in the chat in a little while. We got over 600 viewers and 340 likes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you can, do it for me right now. Hit that like button. Hit the like button for me. It takes 1 second. Just 1 second. Just hit it for me. Just tap it. Just tap that like button for me. Is that nicer? Is that better for you guys? Just tap it. So yeah, what did you guys think? Were you guys informed? Were you educated? Did you learn something new tonight? If not, this might have rehashed some knowledge you've already known and just needed to be refreshed. Either way, like I've always been telling everybody, I'm learning still. I still consider myself new to this movement. It's going to be a year in May. And yeah. Anytime, guys, I share a retweet, just always double check everything. Always check what you're retweeting. And this advice is for myself as well, especially with the hacking story on the UN or the WHO, the UN, all that stuff. You gotta look at what you're doing. Make sure it's vetted. Make sure the sources are good. Don't be like the fake news. And again, I'm talking to myself as well. And if I ever do put something out that you guys catch, please tell me. I will not take a personal offense to it. I will delete it. I will correct it and move on. And that's all we can do. That's all we can do. Your channel is great. Keep it up. Thank you. Forrest. Hey, Forrest. Always great intel. Great delivery. Thank you, Forrest. Thanks for joining in, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad you're okay and glad you had the time to jump in. I know you're a busy man. And if you guys have any donations, any super chats that you want to send to the show, please send them to my PayPal link, which is in the description and all that good stuff. Oh, yeah. Now I can sit back and relax a little bit and just hang out with you guys. Just another couple minutes. Sean, thank you for modding. I didn't know how bad the troll situation was tonight, but thank you, sir, for modding. You are the man. And thanks for always being here for me and this channel. You're the best. Yes, great chat. Sean does keep those chats sexy, ladies and gentlemen. That is for sure. He is the man. I think he's still here. He's in here somewhere. Great episode, Pete, 610 viewers. Yes, we did. Yeah, people do retweet everything, but still, we're trying to set a precedent for people, especially channels that have big followings. We just gotta be better. That's it. We just gotta do our due diligence, and with good intentions, we'll be all right. We'll be okay. Thanks for all the intel. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you, Spicy Carmeletta. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here and listening to me. Thank you so much. Remote Viewer 57. I saw you on Twitter liking my stuff. You're from Digital Soldiers. Thanks for joining. Yep, hit those like buttons. And while I'm here, what I'm gonna do, so you guys can just check out, do my shameless plugs one more time. Go to the YouTube Woke Society's channel where you can like, share, subscribe, catch all my content. And really what I wanted to show everybody too, I have my new Patreon platforms, my new tiered memberships that anyone can go to and sign up for. This, you guys don't even have to do the tiered ones. You guys can donate as low as $1 a month to become a patron. When you guys sign up for this, you're becoming a sponsor of the show. You're becoming a personal sponsor of this channel, and you're supporting this media. This money will go to lighting, cameras, better audio. It's all going towards making this channel better. And that's what it's all about, to make a better experience for everyone that comes to the show, for you guys, and to get the world out there, the truth out there in the most professional, smooth way that I possibly can. So, but if you guys want, check out these tiered memberships. They're really cool. You get some cool stuff with it. We're going to be doing some Q&As. Once I get more people to sign up, we'll do really live ones. Until we get like a group of 10 at least, I'll do emails where you guys can send me questions and we can talk about any of that stuff. And if you guys want, I will put the Patreon link right into the chat. I want it. It's right there. So, and I'm going to be doing exclusive content. The exclusive content is going to be big. I'm going to talk about things that I can't talk about on YouTube. Go to my BitChute, my backup channel, and of course my wokesize.com webpage where you can find all my podcasting platforms. And of course my store where you can buy all the woke merch, some Q merch there, all that good stuff. And again, my PayPal, which you guys know. So that's going to be the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining. It's been a great time hanging out with all of you. I'm not going back to work anytime soon, so until then, we're gonna just keep riding this train at a full-time pace. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're gonna call it a night. So let's do it. All right, guys. This is Scott from Woke Societies. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you for spending the time with me and just chilling out. It's been a great night. So as you all know, you know where to find me. Look for me on Twitter, Facebook, social media, all that good stuff. I think it is link the music. I can't link the music, but we'll go from there. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Scott, and you know what I'm going to say. Stay woke. Good night, everybody.